Hello, this is Kate, and this is your weekly Oracle card reading. And today I'm going to be using the Ascended Masters Oracle cards, which are the same cards that I actually used last week. And normally I like to mix it up a bit, but for some reason I felt really drawn to this deck lately. Okay, so before I get started, I just want to announce that I'm going to be doing another full moon reading on Wednesday night. And I'm going to be doing this reading on the topic of abundance and prosperity. So if you want to get in on that reading, I do it via conference call and it's live, and you'll have the chance to ask me specific questions if you want to. And I'm just going to paste a link in the description of this video. So if you're interested, you can click on it and that will bring you to the page on my site where you can sign up for it. Okay, so I'll start with the first card. And the first card represents the beginning of the week, so Monday and Tuesday. Okay, and we've got Thoth, and his message to us is write. So the beginning of the week is a good time to focus on writing. And this could mean a couple different things. If you are a writer and that's, one of your chosen ways to express your creativity, you could really focus on creative writing at the beginning of the week. And I think, and actually it's interesting, the full moon is in the background, which I think is very much a coincidence because the full moon is coming up. And so this is really an indication that the energies are shifting, and the energies are going to be really, really ripe for creativity. And so your writing is going to be very much enhanced by the energies of the full moon coming up. So you can really kind of tap into that enhanced creativity and enhanced intuition and channel it into your creative writing. And the other meaning that I get with this card is the beginning of the week is a good time to write down your goals and your intentions. So when you put something to paper or when you put something in words, it makes that goal or that intention so much more powerful. And it's really one of the first steps in making something happen and, manifesting something. So the beginning of the week is a really good time to put, your goals and what you're wanting to manifest in writing and getting it down on paper. And another meaning that just popped into my head is if anything's bothering you or on your mind, writing can actually be a good way to kind of get it out of your head. And I know I just said that, when you write something that helps manifest it, but if that's something that's going on in your mind and is worrying you, is something that's negative, sometimes writing it out on paper can actually kind of diffuse it and not make it stronger. So once you see it on paper, sometimes you can see it for what it is and you realize it's kind of silly, and you can use kind of writing out your fears as a way to actually banish them. So you can like burn that piece of paper or rip that piece of paper up or do some kind of little ceremony around it to get rid of your fears. So there's two ways that you can use writing this week. Okay, so moving on to the middle of the week, which is Wednesday and Thursday, and we've got priorities, which is represented by King Solomon. And this is funny because in readings that I've been doing for myself, I've gotten this card probably about 5 or 6 times in the last couple weeks. So this card's been coming up a lot for me. Okay, so the middle of the week, priorities, and this goes really nicely with the card of writing, and basically what I just said about writing down your goals and your intentions. And priorities are basically the same thing as goals and intentions. They're very similar. And so the middle of the week is about getting clear on your priorities. And so this might mean that you have to get rid of or, sacrifice other things, that you're spending your time on that don't fit in with your priorities. So once you get clear on what's important to you and, where you want to direct your energy, sometimes there's other things that are going to fall by the wayside or, things that aren't going to be as big a part of your life as they once used to be. And sometimes that can be hard, but I get the sense that it's not really going to be a struggle here. We're going to have an easy time this week realizing, what's important to us, what is near and dear to our heart, you know, where we want to put our energy and what kinds of things we're willing to release and let go of this week. What else do I get with this card? It's very much a card of ascension. There's this Merkaba shape above his head, and he's got his arms raised, and there's the color purple. So this is a very spiritual card. So I see the beginning or the center of the week, the middle of the week, as being a time for us to really connect to our spiritual purposes. So when I talk about priorities, it could mean, you know, very basic, mundane kind of day-to-day priorities, but I think that the deeper meaning of this card is spiritual priorities and what's important to us on a spiritual kind of level. And of course, Wednesday is the full moon, and so, you know, energies are really quite magnified, and so it's even more important to get clear on, you know, what our priorities are. Okay, so the last card, which represents Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the end of the week, and we've got Apollo, and his message is focus upon your strengths. Okay, so this is a very, I was going to say sun-like or solar card. It has a very strong solar energy to it. It's very glowy and golden and yellow. It has a very masculine energy as well. And the message about focusing upon your strengths, this is pretty important actually, and this card's also come up for me a couple times in readings. And basically, you don't want to waste any time focusing on what's wrong. And I know that sometimes there is a value in realizing, you know, what's wrong and what you don't want in your life. But this week, it's going to be important to focus more on your strengths. And so this could mean focusing on your talents, your abilities, your strengths as a person, your strengths as a spiritual being, and you know, what you've come here to do. And it could also mean focusing on not just your strengths, but also what is going well in your life. So focusing on the really positive aspects of your life and the things that are going quite smoothly. And the more you focus on your strengths, the easier it will be to improve on those strengths, and the easier it will be for you to, I'm losing my train of thought here, the easier it will be for you to basically create something positive. And this has to do with manifestation and living your purpose and, you know, living your passion. And I see a really strong similarity in these two cards, in that both of the figures in this card have their arms raised up. And there seems to be this real, almost a rejoicing or a willingness to take responsibility and claim your strengths and claim your inner power. And I think that this is essentially what this card is about, is kind of stepping up to the plate and claiming your power, focusing on your strengths, and not really trying to be bashful or to be afraid of your power. So to step into it. And the more you're able to claim your power and focus on your strengths, the more you're able to kind of radiate that light and serve as a beacon for others, and, you know, serve as an inspiration for others. So I'm just going to take a quick step back and look at all three cards together. They're all very masculine cards. This is interesting. Thoth, King Solomon, and Apollo, they all have a very strong masculine energy. Well, Thoth doesn't really. There's the moon in the background, which is kind of feminine. But in all of these cards, there's a glowing light. So the moon here is glowing for the beginning of the week. We have the spiritual light of the Merkaba glowing, and then this seems to be like almost the light of the sun or something that Apollo is holding in his hands. So there definitely seems to be a lot of light going on this week, and a lot of different energies going on as well. So there's that kind of outgoing masculine energy of the sun, and then the feminine glowing energy of the moon here. So it looks like an exciting week. It's all about taking charge, writing, getting clear on our priorities, and focusing on our strengths. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kate, and I'll see you next week.